I came here not to please anyone. I'm here to speak the truth, whether you like it or not. It's your own baby to feed Malta Bella. I'm not in the business of going around to please people.
This is how my commander-in-chief and president was introduced in Nigeria. Listen.
My job here today is very simple and also very hard at the same time. Simple because I've been saddled with the responsibility of introducing a man, a Pan-Africanist, a true son of Africa that I can resonate with. I resonate with his ideology. But very difficult at the same time because I've been given less than 2 minutes to make such an introduction. So indeed, it is a Herculean task. Here before us today at the annual general conference is a man, a true son of Africa, a Pan-Africanist, a shining light of resistance, whose exploits at promoting transparency, constitutionalism, accountability, and rule of law are too numerous to mention.
I only tell the truth. Now, I represent a non-racial organization, but we do not fight for white people. Why? Why should we fight for them? What do you want? What do they want? When you say you are fighting for all in South Africa, black and white, what do white people want? Except to want to remain in a position of privilege. That's what they want.
Look at this. Julius Malema was in Nigeria and he gave a very powerful speech on African unity. He addressed sensitive topics like xenophobia and he said that we need to focus on the real issue. Listen.
Xenophobia is a betrayal of African unity. It is a sickness born of poverty, inequality, and government failure. But its victims are our African brothers and sisters. Nigerians, Zimbabweans, Congolese, and Somalis are not the cause of the South Africa's unemployment crisis. The cause lies in the untransformed economy of South Africa, which remains in the hands of white minority and multinational corporations who continue to exploit labor while refusing to industrialize, attacking fellow Africans, diverts anger from the real enemy, and we must educate our people that unity, not division, is the solution to the African crisis.
We must never allow the imperialist forces to divide us in order to take our minerals from us. We demand one Africa. We demand borderless Africa. We demand Africa with one president, with one currency, with one military command, with one parliament, because we know the currency of Africa will be much more stronger against the American currency. We don't care what Trump thinks of us. He will never choose a policy position for Africans. We are not subject of Trump. We must refuse to be subjects of Trump. We must stand together as the world changes and show the world that Africa is one and Africa is equal to all nations, to China, to Russia, to America. We are not just a small nation. We are a big nation. We are not a dark continent. How can we be dark when we've got diamond that is shining amongst us? We are a shining nation. I thank you.
Hello, my wonderful people, great people of Africa. Welcome back to my channel. And of course, if you're new here, I will ask you to subscribe, like the video, and share this video to as many people as possible, good people. Now, I came across some video here of Julius Malema, and we all know this man, and we love him, Standing before a powerful audience in Enugu, Nigeria, Julius Malema delivered a message that cut deep into the heart of African struggle and the hopes. His words weren't just a speech, they were a waken up call. A wise African, a wise black man should hear this speech. It's a call that reminds us that African salvation will never come from Washington, D.C. Okay? It will never come from London, but from us Africans, the black people. Nobody will come to rescue us from all this mess that we are into. It is us to stand tall, strong, and refuse to be manipulated, refuse to be lied to. You know, we need to be united, we need to get determined and be ready to build our own destiny, because our destiny lies in our hands. And now today, I want us to unpack this powerful speech by Mr. Julius Malema. Then at the end of the speech, I want us to come and talk about some of the key points that Mr. Julius Malema has delivered in this video. So without wasting your time, guys, let's dive.
Invite Comrade Deji Adeyanju to introduce the keynote speaker. Good afternoon, everyone. First, let me appreciate His Excellence for making out time to join us here today, and also the Executive Governor of Enugu State and leaders in the profession, all protocols duly observed. My job here today is very simple and also very hard at the same time. Simple because I've been saddled with the responsibility of introducing a man, a Pan-Africanist, a true son of Africa, that I can resonate with. I resonate with his ideology, but very difficult at the same time because I've been given less than 2 minutes to make such an introduction. So indeed, it is a Herculean task. Here before us today at the annual general conference is a man, a true son of Africa, a Pan-Africanist, a shining light of resistance, whose exploits at promoting transparency, constitutionalism, accountability and rule of law are too numerous to mention. He continues to fight against inequality, corruption, oppression in South Africa. His loud voice of reason continues to echo across the continent. He continually agitates for South Africans to see Africans as their brothers and not their enemies. He is a powerful voice, not only in South Africa, but on the continent and globally. Julius Malema is our keynote speaker for the annual conference, and he brings his wealth of experience as a resistance and a movement leader in South Africa. He was the former president of the ANC Youth League, and he is the current president of the Economic Freedom Fighters in South Africa, a movement and a political party that resists oppression and corruption and continues to challenge unconstitutionalism in South Africa. His sacrifices in South Africa and the continent has come at great cost of arrest, persecution, and intimidation. But Julius Malema continues to stand tall. Join me as I welcome this true son of Africa, this Pan-Africanist, and a man for all seasons, Julius Malema.
Let me take this opportunity to greet the governor of Enugu, to greet the Sultan of Sokoto. Let me greet the president of Nigeria Bar Association. We are here because of your capable leadership, and we are happy that we are home here in Nigeria. The leadership collective of the Nigerian Bar Association, who have honored me with an invitation to this esteemed occasion, I greet you all. I further greet all members of the Nigerian Bar Association who are present here today, representing the legal fraternity of this great country, which remains a friend and ally of South Africa and her people. I'm humbled that you saw it fit to invite me to give an address to annual general conference, and by extension, that you saw it necessary to invite the EFF to give this keynote address. I imagine it was not an easy for a group of members of the law profession to reach consensus on who will address them, because your profession by nature is one of robust debate and contestation. So I understand here today. I stand here today proud because I know I'm a product of a robust debate and agreement by people who find it difficult to agree amongst themselves. Comrades and friends, the link between the legal profession and the cause for liberation cannot be separated. Because just like us, you are instruments of justice. While we wage our battle for freedom in the picket lines, through activism, protest, and participation in governance, it is you, the members of the legal profession, who interpret the laws we make, who practice the justice we seek to achieve, and who fight tirelessly for those who cannot defend themselves in the courts of law. It is a profession characterized by sacrifice, intellect, and a commitment to interpretation of the past in order to achieve justice, fairness, and victory in the present and future. For the activists, we have a history and dialectical materialism to guide us into leading society towards a better tomorrow. And for the legal profession, you have indigenous law, common law, case law, the Constitution and statutes, an objective reality to achieve not only personal victory, but to establish collectively laws that will govern others for decades to come. Our duty, however, and primary responsibility is not to maintain laws simply because they exist as they are today. Our duty is not to be instruments of injustice and neocolonialism. It is to be agents of change, and this demands of us to be brave enough to identify unjust laws, speak out, and form part of those that work tirelessly for our judiciary to be of service to our people.
I think what President Trump has done successfully for the brand of Julius Malema is make him world famous, because look at where Malema is today, delivering speeches with a full packed hall in Nigeria. Malema delivered a very powerful speech in Nigeria, and it was very well received across the continent and many parts of the world. Citing and positioning Africa first and Africans first on the continent. And also when he says that we're not afraid of Trump, I think everybody felt it, because Trump has really been abusing African leaders, and he has been really abusing the African continent. He wants a lot for nothing, and he wants to force his ideology and his policies on African governments. So I think that Trump has really done a good job for the brand of Julius Malema, and obviously the brand of the EFF. And I think that was a wonderful speech. Those who haven't had time to listen to it, take some time and listen to it, and listen to it as an African person. Don't listen to it as somebody whose mind is still colonized.
Hate him, love him, hate him, love him. Julius Malema loves Africans. Love Africa, love African development. Julius wants to see Africa develop. You can have many issues with him. You can differ and disagree with him on many levels. But one thing that has been consistent since the formation, actually not even the formation of the EFF, from the beginning when he was still the president, or from COSAS into the Youth League up to now when he is the leader of the EFF, one thing that has been consistent is his love for Africa and Africans, and blacks in particular. This is a man, because no longer a young man now, who has always wanted to see Africa becomes better economically, politically, in any way. This man has been there, has seen it all. He has went through a lot, and is still going through that. It might look easy, but it's a fight, a constant fight that he had put together since he was young up to this very age. He's still continuing doing that. Today he was addressing the Nigerian Bar Association annual event. He was invited to come addresses them as the keynote address. It was held at Enugu Estate in Nigeria. He was accompanied by Leon Mateis, that is the Deputy General Secretary of the EFF, accompanied by the head of presidency, Vuyani Pambo. Listen to that speech. It's there on the YouTube and the EFF website. He spoke, for me as usual, he spoke very well. He spoke like a president. He spoke like a presidential material. He addresses issues that were relating to law. Remember, he's addressing the lawyers, he's addressing the big guns in terms of lawyers, advocate, and so on. In the presence, there were in the attendance there was the governor of Enugu Estate. There were the army generals and so on. Different, very highly esteemed guests were in attendance. Majority of the people there were lawyers and so on, which he spoke well to. They understood him. I understood him. He spoke about how can Africa become great by using their own resources to become better. Nigeria has a lot of oil and other minerals. South Africa has many minerals, platinum, diamond, and so on, which we can use to benefit Africans, to benefit African economies. Botswana, Congo, Somalia, and so on. Many African states, Zimbabwe, they've got very rare minerals that can be used to uplift, to enhance African economies. This is what he was saying there. But also he addresses the issue of us as African, understanding that we come from a space where we had customary traditional laws, different kind of laws in different places of South Africa, Nigeria, and so on. That now, as this law, the lawyers that he was addressing, they should be able to look at and advise the politicians how to somehow accommodate our forgotten laws, to accommodate what was wiped away by this imperialist, which was pushed away in favor of the Western and the Romance law by this imperialist. Then it must be then incorporated, be then brought back to be part and parcel of the mainstream law, which will then be able to help these legal fraternities and also help the government of the day to be able to understand and to talk to the problems that each and every community in different countries in Africa are dealing with, using their own customary and traditional laws. This man spoke very well, whether you like, that's why I said, whether you like him or hate him. He spoke like a president, he spoke like a son of Africa. His love for Africa is unmatched. After Thabo Mbeki, I root for him. Not necessarily to become the president of South Africa. He can become. He is very capable. I'm saying for the love of Africa. Mbeki had a huge love for Africa. Julius is doing the same. They've got so much love for Africa, and that should be commended.
Julius Malema was in Nigeria some days ago. His purpose for visiting Nigeria is this: unification of Africa, one currency, and borderless continent of Africa. I am really happy for this, but as a Nigeria, to me, Julius Malema coming to Nigeria to push that narrative is waste of time. 99% of Nigerians are not ready for unification of Africa right now. 99% of us, we love our chain, we love our oppressor. We don't want to be free for now. I've advised a lot of people, when it comes for unification or unity of Africa, Nigeria should be left alone for now. Not just Nigeria, there are a lot of African countries that should be left alone for now. Because these same African and those Arab countries and Nigeria will ruin the unification of Africa. So those of you that are ready to unite for now, work together. So by the time we Nigerians, we are ready to first set ourselves free from these our oppressors, our leaders, and the rest of the people oppressing us. So we can now move to the phase 2, which is unification of Africa. But when you bring somebody like Nigeria and those Arab countries and some of the African countries to be among the countries that want to unite, and those countries are doing well, we may be a betrayer to those countries that are doing well. So for those of you pushing for the unity of Africa, all Africans should not be in this column. And for those of you that are pushing for the unification of Africa, choose the right African to unite with and make it streets. When other people are ready to join you, there is a procedure that you go through. Don't make it easy. When you make it easy, This Swabotua will join you later and ruin everything. For us to succeed in unification of Africa, we need to first sanitize some African countries. When those African countries are not sanitized, unification of Africa is a waste of time. I pray this work because most African countries are not even ready to set themselves free. Much more uniting with ourselves more than anything. See a black person respecting a white person so much than his fellow black. When I say this, a black person respecting his white person, a lot of you will want to point out as South Africa. There is no any African country that value his black brother than a white person. All African countries, both South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, all of us, we value the white people more than our own fellow black person. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. So Julius Malema, at a point I call you my president because I love what you are doing. But don't waste your time, don't waste your visa money and all of that to transport yourself all the way from South Africa to Nigeria, all in the name of putting the unification of Africa. When we Nigerians, we are ready, you will see. But for now, we are not ready. We love our chain and we love our oppressors. Thank you. Anyway, share your thoughts on the comment section responsibly. And for those that love to cry, cry responsibly on the comment.
Hello great people, welcome back to this video. First of all, I want to say that I don't only write to this video, I only use this video for the purpose of reaction so that our audience can get the message. And therefore, we give respect to the producers and the work that is done in this video. Now, I want to talk about some key points that Mr. Julius Malema has highlighted in his speech. And number one, to begin with, is the Africa must take charge of its own destiny. Malema emphasized that the salvation of Africa will not come from major global powers such as Washington, London, Brussels, or Beijing. Instead, it lies in unity and action within the continent itself, in cities like Lagos, Johannesburg, Abuja, and Pretoria, even Nairobi. And this rejection of external dependence underscores a call for self-reliance and internal empowerment. So we need to get up as African people and black people and search for our own freedom, because it will not come from someone. It means it is us African people to fight for our own freedom, to look for it. Because if you don't fight for it, it will never come. Okay? I don't mean we take up weapons and start facing our oppressors one-on-one. I mean, it's a war of mental change. We need to change our mentality, how we view things, how we look at environment, how we look at other people, how we look at African freedom, how we look at our independence. It is us as African people to stand up tall and change our mindset. The big thing here is the mindset, because that is the only war that Africans were defeated with. Africans were defeated with the war of the mind. Our mental thinking was totally changed by our oppressors. Then number two, he has talked about unity across African nations is essential. It's very much important for African people to be united and stand tall as one. Because remember, united we stand and divided we fall. So if we stand as African people and be united as one, we defeat the oppressor, because oppressor likes it when you are divided. Oppressor likes it when you fight, okay, amongst yourself. So he likes it that way. He stressed that Africans must come together, clearly articulating that their future depends on their ability to refuse division and embrace solidarity. This aligns with broader Pan-African ideas or ideals of shared purpose and collective progress. Then number three, he has talked about institutional empowerment over external solutions. Okay, Malema's remarks serves as a reminder that continental development strategies should be locally designed and executed rather than relying on external institutions or loans so that we get developed. It is us to strategize our own development, our own way, and look for money to finance our development as African people, not depending on loans from the IMF and any other institution that gives African loans. So it is us good people to stand up tall for our unity. Last but not least, leadership as a catalyst for hope. The biggest challenge of Africa is leadership. Okay? It is ranked in Africa, in the world, that the most corrupt leaders come from Africa. And that's a fact. The most corrupt leaders in the world come from Africa. Our African leaders, they don't seem to be serving the interests of their motherland. They are serving the interests of a guy that we totally don't know. Okay? That's why most of our African leaders overstay in power for almost over 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 30 years, 35 years. As if there are no people that can lead those countries. It is only them. So it has become to be a family thing rather than being a democracy. Democracy is for the people, of the people, and by the people. But in Africa, it's a different thing. One person can lead, or one family can lead for over 50 years. Then we call that democracy. That's not democracy. That's something else. That is monarchy. Because no one can lead for over 50 years, then we call that democracy. Democracy, people go to election, then elect a leader of their own choice. Meaning, if you don't rule us the way we want, if you keep on complaining about corruption in your government, if you keep on complaining about infrastructure, it means you're not fit for that position, and therefore, as African people, we need to get you out. But in Africa, it's different. It's the president who determines the election results. They control all these institutions that govern elections. They control them. They give them money. They even give the members of parliament some tokens to pass a bill that will only benefit him, his business, okay, or his family business. By speaking from a Nigerian platform about African unity, Malema signals the importance of leadership and cross-border political connections. Okay, so great people, I don't know what you think about this video in the comment section. And guys, if you love the video, please give it a thumb up, subscribe, leave us a comment in the comment section, and thank you so much. And let's pick one Africa, one people, one blood. I love you so much, my people from Africa, people from diaspora. Guys, may God bless you for always standing with us, because we have to get Africa united and speak one. Remember, united we stand, and divided we fall. This is Fred from Motherland.
Guys, Julius Malema's speech in Nigeria is sending shockwaves across the globe. While in Nigeria at the Enugu State International Conference, Julius Malema demanded for one Africa, one president, one currency, one military, and one parliament. He also talks about the xenophobic happening in South Africa. Yeah. Anyways, I want you to hear from the horse's mouth. All right? And please try to drop your opinion in the comment section. Do you agree with Julius Malema? Do you support one Africa, one currency, one president, and one army? Do you support it? If yes, drop it in the comment section. And if no, also drop it in the comment section.
We are here today to reclaim our land. We want the land of Africa to be returned to Africa because it belongs to the Africans. We want the minerals of Africa to be returned to the Africans because that's where they belong. We want to build industries in Africa and process our minerals here in Africa. We've got the capacity. We must never allow the imperialist forces to divide us in order to take our minerals from us. We demand one Africa. We demand borderless Africa. We demand Africa with one president, with one currency, with one military command, with one parliament, because we know the currency of Africa will be much more stronger against the American currency. We don't care what Trump thinks of us. He will never choose a policy position for Africans. We are not subject of Trump. We must refuse to be subjects of Trump. We must stand together as the world changes and show the world that Africa is one and Africa is equal to all nations, to China, to Russia, to America. We are not just a small nation. We are a big nation. We are not a dark continent. How can we be dark when we've got diamond that is shining amongst us? We are a shining nation. Black people are not loved in Africa and are not loved outside Africa. We have a duty to love ourselves and show the whole world on how it must treat us. We cannot treat each other badly and expect other people to treat us much better. How you treat your own brother and your own sister, it's how you teach others outside how they must treat you. The unity of our continent is paramount, and we must never associate with any xenophobic agenda that perpetuates the divisions in South Africa. Solidarity is what we need for each other. I thank you.